everyone. So this is my very first video with this new motorbike that I have recently bought. This is the Vogue R125S. By the way, sometimes you may see that it's named 125RS, but well, take a look at what Vogue put as a sticker directly onto the plastics of the motorbike. So yeah, let's call it properly R125S. And on this very first video, I would like to share my experience with setting up the front camera. This is probably one of the very few, or maybe the only 125 on the market that has an onboard camera built in as a standard accessories. The interesting thing is that because this bike is very new, the user guide that I have on hand, and I've received it from the importer into the Czech Republic, it just doesn't mention anything about the camera at all. There is the Vogue Global app on the mobile, so it's available for Android and also of course for iPhones on the App Store. First of all, when you want to use the camera, you need some sort of memory storage. The other Vogue bikes, they do have the microSD card slot under the passenger seat. So that's where I went. So I'll just show you, and by the way, this is also a way for you to see how much storage this small bike actually has. And you can hear from my voice that I'm already laughing, and you will see it why. This is the passenger seat cover. It's of course it's plastic. This is all your storage. Yeah, you've got these small pins or whatever it is, these rubber grommets. Yeah, you can see that it's not even 1 centimeter of space in here. You've got this cable. I was told by the seller that this is to attach your helmet. But yeah, this is where you would use this Torx tool. Yes. Okay, so now I figured it out. Great. Okay, this is the Wi-Fi name. And back to the storage. And I have to turn light on here in the garage. Here, go and take a look deep inside. This is the Wi-Fi module. So you have to pull it out with your fingers. On the side, you have this cover. Take the cover out. You see on these schematics in which direction the micro SD card should be pulled in. And one little thing that was really super annoying. Take a look how much the micro SD card is recessed in the memory card slot. So when I tried to pull it inside using my nails, it just wasn't enough. And of course I don't have long nails. So what I had to do, I literally had to take the key, and I did push the micro SD card all the way down. Then it clicked. I'm not sure if it's really visible on the video, but it's maybe 2 or 3 millimeters, even there is something like that. And yeah, then once it clicked, it started working. So yeah, then you of course close the rubber cover. There are also on the cover some slots, so you really have to make it flush because it may protrude a little bit and the protection of the rubber will not be there. You see the Velcro in there. The Velcro is really very small. Of course, now you just have to get the Wi-Fi module inside, roll it with your fingers. It will attach itself to the Velcro, and that's it. 125S user manual doesn't specify what kind of micro SD card you should put inside. So I was working with the assumption that probably the Wi-Fi module is very similar or maybe almost the same as on the bigger bikes. For the bigger Vogue bikes, it is written that the camera will accept maximum of 128 gigabytes of storage. I went with 64 gigabytes only because, well, I really don't believe there is that much bitrate on the camera, so probably this will be more than enough. But I went with this SanDisk Extreme. These are rated to survive also different temperature, different environments. There are water, even radiation resistant. When it comes to the camera itself, this should be full HD. And if you got this bike and you're going to set up your camera, one little thing, go back to the front and you will see really small cover on the lens, which is there right from the factory. It is not really noticeable. I've already pulled the cover out, so it's the same kind of protection that you have on your LCD. But it is also right on the camera, and if you keep there, trust me, the video quality will be really, really horrible. Before you start riding your bike, just take the lens protection out. In order to have the camera set up, you of course have to turn the ignition on. you've got this pretty sequence in here. I've already showed it in one of my short videos. After you install the app and you connect to the motorbike, this is the welcoming screen, and on the top left corner there's a very tiny camera icon. The app cannot work in landscape mode. You can only use it in portrait, so that's a little bit inconvenient. And for the settings, you can change the Wi-Fi name and connection password, which is nice. You can turn on or off automatic recording, the timestamp or date stamp as you see it in there. You can also switch in between different cycle times. For the onboard camera, I go for 5 minutes because with 1 minute recordings you will have just too many of those, so I go with 5 minutes. Then the G sensor sensitivity will mark your recording as emergency recording, so I think it will be then protected from automated deletion. A little bit below you've got the formatted recorder. So this is to format your microSD card. So you do this thing at first before you start using the recorder. You can restore factory settings, and then there are apparently some firmware upgrade options. That's it. I will show at the very end 3 videos side by side, and sorry, these are again portrait recordings. Camera has a built-in microphone, and the microphone is picking up extremely loudly all of the noises right from the motorbike. Be wary of this once you would be exporting the video. It's not really usable when it comes to the sound of the motorbike, but you'll probably hear something from the traffic. I'm not really sure. So that's it for the very first video. I hope this really helps someone who gets this bike, at least unless the user guides will become somehow better. And if you have any questions or you would like to see something really specific about this bike, let me know in the comments and I'll try to figure it out for you. So thank you for watching. See you next time.